You're tapped into another TKK exclusive, bringing you the hottest stories, talent, products, and entertainment from communities all around the world, just like you. This is another Kuldesac Krew exclusive. Hey everyone, it's Elena Charis from the Kuldesac Krew. I am bringing you a brand new TKK exclusive, and I'm here with hip hop recording artist, goes by the name of King Chad. He is right there from Sarasota, Florida.
Absolutely. What's going on? Glad to have me.
Yes, welcome to the show. Now, I did a music review of your single called Fall in Love that debuted last week, and it was off of your album called Francois. Am I saying that right?
No, it's actually pronounced
Or-
Francois. It's French.
Francois. Sorry.
You're good.
I am the worst. It's almost comedy when it comes to me pronouncing things. But tell us a little bit about the title of that album.
Yeah, so Francois is basically like the family last name. So basically, on the cover, you see all four brothers. So I wanted to make that one more meaningful. A lot of people are saying that's one of their favorite bodies of work because I actually took my time with that one. I didn't speed up the process a little bit, like actually took my time with that and actually, had my brothers involved as well to hear it out and to help out with the track listing and everything like that before putting it out. So Francois was more of a personal project, something for the last name, really.
Okay, that's dope. Now, this single, Fall in Love, tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, so Fall in Love is my favorite song on that album, only because I like the A. Marie original song, Why Don't We Fall in Love? A lot of people may know that one. That's the sample in the background. So growing up in Brooklyn, New York, that was definitely one of my favorite songs listening as a child growing up. That was one of the songs that's like very memorable to me. So every time I hear that song, I think about, how I was living up north, having school canceled because of snow. Like I just get the whole vibe, like the wardrobe, everybody wearing jerseys, headbands, just the whole sports vibe. So it kind of takes me back. And every time I hear that song, I feel like a kid. So when I
Mm.
heard that sample, I was like, yeah, I got to get on it because it's just so meaningful to me and how I grew up.
Yeah, it's a really easy listen to, and it's a great hip hop song. Now, you mentioned that you grew up in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
What was it like? Because New York is so like one of the biggest influences of hip hop. So how was that being in, New York, and who were your influences growing up?
In New York, early on, as a 90s kid, I'm born in 94. So my first couple of artists listening to, like growing up in New York, was like, all right, so Lauryn Hill, 50 Cent, Fabulous, Jadakiss. Basically, like all the New York, like Ja Rule was huge, J-Lo, SWV, like I could just go, the list goes on. Tony Braxton, I was listening to growing up. It's just a pool of different music we had growing up. A lot of the reggaeton music as well with the Puerto Rican culture. Fat Joe was huge back then in '03 and stuff like that. So I pretty much got a glimpse of like all parts of the hip hop genre growing up as far as music goes.
Okay. Well, you've got this new album called The Chosen One. I want to talk a little bit more about that. I was able to listen to it. I don't even know where to begin. You have a song called I Love Milk.
Yeah, that's
I
me. That's me and my little nephews right there.
it was like when I first was listening to it and saw the title, I was like, okay, where's this going? And then I hear, the child on it,
Yeah.
and I loved it. I love this whole concept. So what inspired you to put your nephews on this album?
I remember, like as a kid, listening to music, and it starts early on. Because back then for us, I don't know if you remember, but we had like Rap City, with the basement, the big, Big Tigger and everything hosting that. And then we had 106 in Park and stuff like that. The love for hip hop started very young for me. So I just wanted to do something for them as they get older. They can look back and be like, oh, like my uncle did this, it's very memorable. Kind of like what Master P did with Romeo and how
Mm,
Jermaine Dupri took Bow under his wing, and basically built them
mm.
up to what they became. So I just wanted to do something for them, so they look back at it and be like, oh, that's pretty cool. Like they did this when it was.
I can totally picture that song in an elementary school, like encouraging kids to drink milk.
I can see it. I was telling them, I was like, just to give them a little motivation. I'm like, we do good, we might just get a record deal. Like, we might just get not a record deal really. I was telling them we can get like a sponsorship or something, you know. So if you
Yeah.
guys do a good job, you know, we can do it. So I basically kind of like helped them through it with the lyrics and everything, and then all they had to do is just remember their lines and deliver, and then I just closed at the end. So it was
Yeah.
definitely fun doing that with them. They had a lot of fun. So
I mean, it was The Chosen One is a really great album. I thoroughly enjoyed listening to the whole album. Another song, another favorite of mine was Maturity. This album as a whole, from the album before to releasing this album, what inspired this album and how did you grow as an artist?
what inspired this album, what I can say is I basically just like with every album, I basically talk about what I'm going through at the moment, you know? So everything is all real time. There's nothing that was hold in a hard drive or anything like that. So everything you heard, like even Maturity, that's me currently, like talking about what I experienced. So everything in that project, the whole Chosen One, is how I felt. Like, you know, I just felt like I was the chosen one, you know, and I just felt like a lot of situations and things that's put on me, you know, it's just because I am chosen and the way I handle myself. And even if the situation is not the easiest, I always find a way to get through it in a positive mindset, you know. So I don't know if you caught it, but the cover is basically like a similarity to Coming to America, you know. So I found a way to blend that with Prince Hakeem, you know, like finding his Elisa McDowell, you know. So I found a nice way to just blend that together with the project. But yeah, that's just basically how I felt um, this year so far. Hmm.
I liked how you talk about society today and just the lack of just authentic
Yeah,
communication between
there's no,
human beings.
yeah, there's no genuine people no more. It's like, you know, I'll be more surprised if I meet a genuine person. That's where I'm at right now. I'm not surprised, you know, like people,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm not phased at it at all. Like you can hear it in the music. I'm not surprised if you do something good. Don't expect somebody to be the same person you are. You know what I'm saying? Like what you put out. Don't expect the next person to do the same because you're not gonna get it. You know, I'm already numb to it. Like I'm already used to people being fake. I'll be more surprised to see somebody actually keep their word, to actually have somebody that's actually loyal, things like that. I'll
Hmm.
be more surprised if somebody who's actually genuine.
Especially nowadays, yeah, TikTok and all that. It seems like a Twilight Zone episode. Is this real life? Like, is
Yeah, that's the issue because it just like the real life doesn't balance with the social media. Like, don't get me wrong, the internet's cool and everything, but you got to know the difference between, you know, the internet and real life. You know, so
Mm. Who are you listening to nowadays?
who I listen to Nas, I listen to Tribe Called Quest, I listen to SWV. This is all the artists I grew up listening to, like Lauryn Hill. I have times where I listen to John P. Key. He's a gospel singer. Like my music range changes. Robert Glasper. I listen to Tevin Campbell. Like it's all over the place. Like, but I listen to real music. If it doesn't
Mhm.
have like real stuff, Glenn Jones. A lot of people don't even know who that is. Stuff like that. So it's just if it don't have real substance, I
Mm.
probably won't listen to it. You know, it has to be real. So
Now, I as I was listening to your songs, I might be incorrect, but I don't think you cussed at all.
I don't.
Okay.
I'm glad you look. I'm glad you noticed that. But yeah, a lot of people, they're like, I swear you said something on here, but yeah, no, everything is clean.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because I go through so much music and I actually, there was a submission I honestly I had to turn down because I was just like, it's just too
saturated, right?
vulgar. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
too much. I couldn't even do it. I mean, there and then I get this and then it's just
right.
like amazing because this is really great music and you're not even cussing. You did mention Proverbs 31.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. So, do you go to church or anything like that, or how's faith tie into your music?
yeah. That's a great point. As you brought that to my attention as well.
Mm.
having that relationship with God is extremely important, you know. So a lot of stuff that we take on a daily basis is not so bad, you know what I'm saying? When you have that quiet time with God to just bring it all down, like it's not that bad. Like you woke up today, you know, you have a
Yeah.
car, you got a house, you know what I'm saying? You went to work, you came back safely, you got your family, this and that. Like it's really not that bad if you really like look at the bigger picture. Like
Yeah.
it's a lot of people that have it way like 10 times worse, you know. So I'll say God definitely keep me sane and humble for sure.
Okay. That's right. Okay,
Hmm.
that's what's up. Well, if you had a one song off of this album that the listeners could listen to, what would it be and why?
There's a lot of songs. Right now, I would say Florida, because Florida just won the championship and everything. So I think Florida's a good song right now to be played. I got it before they got it. I got it right
Okay.
before them. So yeah, Florida for sure. Florida and is a good vibe song. So it's like a party record, good time, having a peaceful vibey time. So I think it's a good choice for now.
Okay. And I was going to ask what brought you from NYC or New York to Florida?
Okay, so basically growing up, like I went to a lot of different schools. Like we moved a lot. So I went to school in Brooklyn. I went to school in Florida, and then, but basically what decided that decision was my mom. So like she liked the beaches and the summertime vibe. So she just couldn't take it after a while, and then we just moved to Florida. So that's basically what happened. And then we had to get new friends, and just like it's kind of like the LeBron story. You get your bag and let's go. So you got to just build up new friends and all this other stuff. As a kid, it's very hard. It's extremely hard because you got to just
Yeah.
start from ground zero every time. So getting used to seeing lizards. I never seen snakes. Like I
Right.
never seen deers and
Alligators.
rabbits. Yeah, yeah, none of that. I never seen any of that in New York. So going to Florida is like, what is this, like the country? So it was definitely
It's
something.
in a weird, freaky way. Because I heard iguanas just like fall out of the sky, like fall out of the trees in the winter because it's cold.
They have rabbits, everything, frogs, all that stuff, and I'm just like, it took a while to adjust to like
Yeah.
the different animals and stuff like that. You always looking over your shoulder. You're like, what's gonna come out of this bushes? Like it's crazy.
That's for real. Out in California, I mean, we have coyotes. It's not that big
Yeah,
of a deal.
yeah, that's crazy.
Well,
That's kind of like what Colorado got too.
oh, Colorado,
Yeah,
bears,
buffaloes.
goats,
Yeah,
mountain goats.
I was there in December. That's why I'm saying that. Like, I had did one of a music video in Colorado, so it was called Flatbush. So I shot it in there. So I
Okay.
shot it over there. So I got to see all those mountains and everything like that. So it was a dope experience.
Well, I was going to ask you before we head out, like, where do you have any upcoming performances, or do you have any upcoming projects that you want to tell us about?
Upcoming projects. I think I'm on my 12th one so far, with Chosen One being the number 12 one. As of right now, I may do a couple more music videos and stuff like that for this new project, but I'm just taking it one day at a time, really. So I'll decide what I'll do when it comes, as it happens. So not really sure right now, but I'm just taking it one day at a time.
Okay, for sure. Well, do you have any shout outs or anything?
Yeah. So a big shout out to Noble Indeed. This is actually my cousin's Katia's husband's brand, but she's really like my sister. So Katia's my sister. So this is their clothing line right here. Shout out to William. Y'all can follow them on Noble Indeed. They got a page on IG. Y'all can follow them to get merch and stuff like that. It is very comfortable too. So they have sweaters, gym shorts, hats, everything. They have the whole apparel. I also want to shout out my brother Ashley Francois. Shout out to Ash. He should be coming out with some more work and stuff like that as well. Yeah, night. Shout out my brother Shala and Mama. And shout out to Pops as well. And then just shout out to everybody who's been supporting me since I started this journey, in 2018. So shout out to all the listeners and everything out there.
That's what's up. I will try to add that link of the clothing line in the
Yes.
description below.
It's called Noble Indeed, y'all. So
Okay. And where
mhm.
can listeners learn more about your music and check you out?
Yeah, so it's fairly simple. I'm very active on Instagram. That's my favorite social media. That's where I normally put out my music and everything. But it's out on every platform. So you will find it in Spotify, Apple Music, Pandora, whatever your streaming platform is. And then for
Okay.
the people who don't have like subscriptions and stuff like that, it's always on YouTube. So that's something I always make sure that I have, like especially for kids. That's big on YouTube. That's always an option, and I make sure that music is available as well on YouTube. So if you don't have a subscription, you can always go on YouTube and just listen to it for free.
Okay. Well, I really appreciate you taking the time to do this TKK exclusive.
Absolutely. Well, thanks for having me. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, absolutely. And everyone check out this album. It's called The Chosen One. Like you said, you can find it on all streaming platforms. And if you don't have a subscription, just go to YouTube and subscribe. The more subscribers, the merrier, right?
That is correct.
Well, that's wonderful. All right. Well, everyone, it is your host, Elena Charis. Thanks for tuning in to another TKK exclusive.
Have a good one.
You've just tuned in to another TKK exclusive presented by the Kuldesac Krew with a K.